Okay. Open this one up. Okay. By the way, again, this is online. Okay, I uploaded onto our website, so you don't have to write anything down. Okay. So we'll go here, and the latest stuff are at the very top. So the 19th Emirp. Okay, the 19th Emirp is 359. 359 happens to be the 19th Emirp. Means that it's written backwards. It's going to be also a prime. So the Emirp of 359 is 953, as we were just discussing right now. And 953, third composite, happens to be 1143. And 1143 is 9 times 127. Okay? But this 953 also has other indices in other domains of prime numbers. Okay? So, in this case, this happens to be part of the domain of Emirps. That means if you write it backwards, it's going to be an Emirp. This is just the simple primes that we have known for a long time. 953rd prime is 953 is the 162nd prime number. And 162nd Sphenic number is 1131. And 1131st prime happens to be 9127. Okay, can you imagine this? Okay, well, 162nd composite is 209. 209 Gaussian composite is 2917. Remember now, there's 2917. Again, the same digits of 9127, just a different permutation. Happens to be the 11th permutation of 1279, which is the first permutation of 9127. The 19th permutation of 1279 happens to be 9127. And 209 happens to be 11 times 19. Look at those things. Look at the permutation rank of those things. One 11 and the other one is 19. And 11 times 19 is 209. 209 is the frequency of Ain, Sin, and Kaf in Surah 42. Okay? It also happens that the index of prime number 2917, okay, it's a Gaussian composite, but it's also a prime number, is 422. Ain, Sin, Kaf actually is been assigned to Surah 42.2. See, 422, 42.2. So if you open your Quran, the verse, not the verse Quran, okay, you have to open up the Hafs Quran, the version of the Quran, and you notice that chapter 42.2 is Ain, Sin, Kaf. And that's why. Okay? This is why. So, what I'm telling you today, from information from God, that He tells us today, okay, that there's a reason there why that verse is assigned that verse number and chapter number. And so we know this today. Okay? So we just go on. 68 semi-prime happens to be 209. 133rd semi-prime happens to be 422. Okay? The frequency of noon in Surah 68 in Surah 68 is 133. Okay? Are we finished? No. 197th Emirp is 9127. Okay? He's not going to let you go. God is coming back at us and tells us that He abhors wrong things. He abhors mistakes. He abhors untruth. Okay? That's what He's telling us. That if you do this, if you play around with my word, this is what's going to happen to you. 197th Emirp happens to be 9127. The exponent of the 19th Gaussian Mersenne Prime is 353. 353 is the sum of the frequency of Ha plus Mim in chapter 42. 353 regular prime happens to be 4253. So it tells you why. It tells you why 353 happens to be the number of Ha Mim in chapter 42, which has 53 verses. Okay. And that chapter 4253, which is written in that verse structure, is only true in the case of the Hafs version of the Quran, not the other ones. Okay, the Warsh version has 50 verses in chapter 42 because they bundle up the first verse and the second verse. So Hamim Ain Sin Ghaf is one verse altogether. It is wrong. Not supposed to be like that. This tells you how it's supposed to be. This tells you which one is correct. Okay. 353rd composite happens to be 438. 438's composite happens to be 538. 538's Non-Chen Prime happens to be 9127. We're back again to it. Okay. 6841 is the 532nd regular prime. I'm sorry. 438 additive prime happens to be 6841. But look at that 6841. 6 plus 8 is 14 plus 4 is 18 plus 1 is 19. Okay? It's just not any additive prime. It's an additive prime that adds up to 19. Okay. Additive prime is a prime number that the number of digits, the sum of the number of digits, is actually a prime number. In this case, happens to be a very specific prime, happens to be the Quranic prime, which is 19. Okay. 6841 happens to be the 532nd regular prime. 719 is the 67th additive prime. 67 is the 19th prime. 19 times 67 is 1273, which is the frequency of the word God in 9127. So we go back to 100 again. 162nd triprime happens to be 651. 532nd composite is also 631. You see how they're related? You see? So it connects 162, 532, which we learn here is the index of this. Okay, regular prime 6841. So we come down here. 651st composite happens to be 790. 790th verse containing the word God in the Quran is 9127. 790th lonely prime happens to be 9619. Okay, so these stuff that all these bullets were known to us except for these here. We didn't know these. Okay, these three things are new. Okay, so we come in here and 790th verse containing the word God is 9127. 790th lonely prime happens to be 9619. Surah 96 has 19 verses. Know that Surah 96 was the first revelation. 790 in base 19 is equal to 2698 in base 10. 2698 is the frequency of the word God in the Quran. Okay. So it tells you that it tells you the following, that when this Quran was written, it obviously came from God. Okay? It's a revelation from God. That's what God says. Okay? So here we have 790, which tells you the frequency of the verses contained in the word God is 9127. And then it tells you what the first surah that was revealed, what's its connection with 790. And then it tells you that 790 is also can be transformed using base system into the number of the frequency of the word God in the entire Quran. Okay? Which tells you that, look, the author of the Quran who revealed this, who's God, actually meant for 9,127 verses. Okay? And you see the connections between these things? So, God says that, He tells us we go back to the close that one, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. We go in here and yeah, there it is. Okay, so if I go here, we'll go to 9127. Okay, there we are. Okay, so as you see here, see 790, 1273. Okay, 790 is the frequency of the verses containing word God. 1273 is the frequency of the mention of word God in the Quran, and it's 9127. Okay, so again, my point is that these things are not just assigned randomly or just written haphazardly. There's a generator for this, and that generator is internalized. It's not going to go away, and it's going to be, as I call it, it's going to be around no matter what happens in this universe. Okay, this is what God calls in chapter 58:22. He says this is a protected tablet. Okay, and it is true. Okay, so again, we'll go to, let's see here, and God has also provided this for us, and so all we have to do is say protected tablet. Okay, and so go ahead and yep. Okay, go. Yeah, there it is. I'm sorry. في كتاب المكنون. Okay, 5678. Okay, in a protected book. That's one way of saying it. And protected him. And let's see here. Yep. Hang on a second. 58 and 22. And 8522. I'm just trying to find it. There it is, in a guarded tablet, not protected. I'm sorry. Okay, so there it is. 8522, not 5822. Okay, in a guarded tablet. في لوح محفوظ. Okay, it says, right, yet this is a glorious Quran in a guarded tablet. Okay, so that's what this guarded tablet is. This guarded tablet is not some golden tablet or some, something that was carried by the angels or something. Nothing like that. This thing is available to everybody. It's not going to go away. Okay, it's going to be with us no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to stop here and we'll go ahead and